Ok, empezamos. 0 segundos. Vamos, chat. Go, go, go. Bro. ¡De los cuatro! ¡Saca este video de mierda! Okay.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thanks for joining us for today's live stream as we reveal our upcoming expansion, The Forbidden Sanctum, which launches on December 9th on PC and Mac and on December 14th on console. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Bloodguard wings. Here's what you can expect from today's live stream. We'll start by debuting the trailer for The Forbidden Sanctum, and we'll then do a deep dive on the league itself. We'll cover this expansion's new endgame revamps and content, and then we'll have a look at all the new skills we're introducing. We'll then reveal some new unique items and the massive buffs and rarity adjustments we have made to a variety of endgame unique weapons. We'll then briefly cover some balance topics that we have posted articles about recently, jewels, curses, and the replacement of the arch-nemesis monster mod system. Finally, we'll discuss the upcoming release of the optional Ruthless game mode before touching on some quality of life improvements and the new supporter packs. The livestream concludes with a Q&A session between Ziggy D and me, where we'll answer questions from Twitch chat. Then we'll drop the full patch notes. Let's get started with the trailer for The Forbidden Sanctum, which launches in 1 week.
Let's go! Chat.
Many have met their fate here in the shade of Fell Shrine. So, step lightly. For here you are bound by new rules. My rules.
Okay. PvP, un juego PvP con guardias, derrotar guardias.
Each step with gold to tempt you.
Como un roguelike.
A foe to wound you. A curse to spite you. But do not give up, for vast riches await the bold. Pillage this sanctum if you must. And one day you may uncover its secrets.
¡Vamos! ¡Explora el Sanctum! Oh my god, no bosses. Nueva kill. Las 2 shots más. Offensive unit bubble. Sorry. Offensive Starboard. Goodness. Buckets. No unique. Egg improvement. Oh my god, what is that? ¿Qué es eso? Oh my god! Holy shit! Clap! Clap! Let's go! Clap in the chat! Clap in the chat! ¡Qué buen trailer! ¡Me pongo de pie! Ok. A ver, rápido. Nueva gema. Nueva gema. ¡Salud, mierda! Nueva gema. Okay, otro más.
The Forbidden Sanctum is an old Templar enclave, long rumored to be hidden beneath the Fell Shrine
no
ruins.
unique, no? No unique.
Abandoned for a long time, it is now controlled by a malevolent entity. In this league, you'll explore it, find out its secrets, and deal with the evil that lurks there. The Sanctum Challenge League is a roguelike game, played out one room at a time as you explore Rayquest and the Atlas in Path of Exile. In every area or map you enter, you can make a choice of which room in the Sanctum you will explore next.
Elige una opción de
On
que
the Sanctum map, you can see the contents of a few rooms ahead,
el mapa,
enabling you to plot a path
ves que
through
te
its
sale,
dangerous halls. And the Sanctum is dangerous. Like most roguelikes, you should not expect to be able to complete it on your first try. Getting to the deeper floors requires experience, knowledge, and luck. You should expect that your early attempts will fail, but over time, you'll be able to push yourself farther and farther. As you progress deeper into the Sanctum, you'll find a variety of treasures that will help you eventually fight your way to the dangers that await you at the end of its 4 floors.
El Hades me costó como 30 intentos
you may be able to
recién
push through all 4 floors to face the final boss. Every roguelike needs a resource to help you track how well the run is going. In the Forbidden Sanctum, it is your resolve, indicated by this bar here. As you explore the Sanctum, your resolve is threatened by the dangers within. When you lose all of your resolve, your Sanctum run ends.
Oh, te quedas sin plata
your
y te
level of resolve is
echan.
maintained between consecutive rooms on your run, but is only shown when you're in the Sanctum itself. The resolve mechanic applies equally to all build archetypes. Your resolve is reduced when you are hit by monsters or environmental hazards in the Sanctum, and these telegraphed attacks are not affected by regular Path of Exile defensive mechanics, such as evasion, armor, or block. While these attacks do some nominal damage to your regular life, the bulk of their impact is against your resolve. This mechanic provides a mechanism for tracking your progress between rooms, where your regular life pool would long ago have been recovered. Another aspect of the resolve system is that characters who are struggling can be ejected from the Sanctum without actually having to die, avoiding experience loss or hardcore death. So maintaining a healthy level of resolve is key as you navigate the Sanctum, and that means making careful choices of what rooms you enter. Let's have a look at some of the things that Sanctum rooms can contain. Afflicted rooms cause you to gain an affliction when you enter them. Afflictions make your Sanctum run more difficult, for example, reducing your resolve recovery, causing rewards to become hidden on the Sanctum map, or causing Sanctum rooms to spawn volatile anomalies that follow you. These minor afflictions accumulate as you get deeper and deeper into a run, making it more challenging. Major afflictions exist and are a big deal. They have significant consequences, such as entirely preventing the recovery of resolve. So, a Sanctum run gets harder and harder as you pick up more afflictions. Sounds great. But every roguelike needs a way for you to gain power throughout your run.
Claro, tienes que darte poder, si no, no es un roguelike.
That system is boons. Boons are beneficial buffs that help you as you progress through the Sanctum. Minor boons make things a little easier, such as slowing down monsters or adding a special shield to your resolve called Inspiration. Major boons don't come along often, but have large effects, such as preventing you from receiving more minor afflictions, or recovering your resolve to 50% the next time you run out. Due to the vast variety of afflictions and boons, no 2 runs are the same. Generally speaking, your best Sanctum runs are the ones where the afflictions you choose have little effect on you, and the boons either counteract them or have a large benefit for the strategy you're running. Some rooms in the Sanctum contain a fountain, which will restore some of your lost resolve.
Buenísimo
Others
eso.
contain afflicted fountains that restore even more resolve
Es poca
at a
density,
cost.
sí.
Rooms
Tenga
with
más
a
build
treasure
con buen
reward contain
targets,
chests full of the Templar
Otra
Aureus
build
currency,
se ve buena para esto.
a type of gold coin they used for commerce within their Sanctum. You'll also find some Aureus coins from monsters that you kill as you explore. These are picked up automatically, like Azurite, and are not tradable, and like your afflictions and boons, are lost when your Sanctum run ends.
Está bien.
Some rooms contain a merchant who accepts your Aureus coins in exchange for boons. Plan your purchases
Igual
carefully
que
as you may
el
encounter
Hades.
the merchant
También tu
again
currency
later on
por
with even
mejora
more
y cosas
expensive
así.
boons to purchase.
Recobrar resolve.
Occasionally, the sinister powers controlling the Sanctum will present you with the choice of making an accursed pact. You are given several pacts to choose from and can even opt to take all that you are offered. All pacts have a big upside and a big downside, such as exchanging a portion of your maximum resolve for a random major boon. It's very dangerous to make a pact, but if you pick the right circumstances, your gamble could pay off. In addition to rewards that help you progress through the Sanctum, many rooms let you immediately receive Path of Exile currency items, but with a twist. Whenever you're offered some currency items that you can receive right away, you are also offered a more valuable option that will be waiting for you after the boss fight at the end of the current floor of the Sanctum. It's a gamble, because if you fail your run before you reach and defeat the boss, you will not receive the reward you picked. Later on, you're offered the extreme temptation of getting a massive currency reward that is conditional on completing your entire Sanctum run without failing.
Oh my god.
At a specific point in the Forbidden Sanctum storyline, you'll discover a special altar that Templar relics can be placed on. These relics directly affect your Sanctum runs and are not lost when a run ends. They persist throughout the league as a permanent source of meta progression. Acquiring new and better relics is one of the ways you can push farther and farther with each run you try. Relics cannot be crafted and cannot be traded, as they represent your personal progression throughout the league. You'll accumulate more than you can use simultaneously, so you'll have options to fine-tune your strategy from run to run. You can store your extra relics in the relic locker, a free storage space like the expedition locker. We don't want to spoil important story details, but the end boss of the Forbidden Sanctum can drop unique items from a pool exclusive to this league. Today we'd like to show you a unique amulet called Eternal Damnation. This amulet offers a powerful way to gain additional elemental mitigation by introducing the concept of elemental damage reduction. Despite the drawback of reducing your maximum resistances, if you have sufficient chaos resistance, this is more than compensated for. Because of the roguelike nature of the Forbidden Sanctum, defeating the boss of a floor is a difficult achievement and hence rewards a lot of experience. You may fail on the way, so if you do manage it, expect a good experience boost for your achievement. Another reward you can find is a special type of relic called a Sanctified Relic that has mods that directly affect your character's build. You can only unlock one slot for this type of relic. And while these relics can't be crafted through conventional means, you may find special reward rooms in the Sanctum that can modify. These relics exist for this league only and provide a boost to character power for players who are able to master the Sanctum. The Sanctum League offers a roguelike experience that tempts you into taking risks and rewards you if those pay off. There's a lot to explore in the Sanctum, and we can't wait to hear about your experiences next week. In each expansion leading up to Path of Exile 2's release, we're improving Path of Exile's endgame, with new content to explore and improvements to how you customize your endgame experience. In the Forbidden Sanctum expansion, we're revamping the Atlas tree, reworking how Eldritch altars function, and introducing 2 new Atlas memories. The Atlas tree is generally working really well, but has a few problems we'd like to address. The tree offers you the ability to specialize in killing pinnacle bosses, providing extra rewards when you do so. While this sounds good on paper, it creates a situation where you're incentivized to specialize your tree for regular mapping, save up all of your boss fights, then respec fully into boss mode, and then do all of your saved up boss fights before speccing back again. Ideally, the design of the Atlas tree would let you spec into one build and then just play the game. We have removed all boss bonuses from the Atlas tree, and have baked some of them into the actual base properties of the boss fights. For example, you don't need to allocate the Gaze into the Abyss notable that makes the Elder more likely to drop a Watcher's Eye, as he just has that drop chance built in now. The Atlas tree is now focused on allowing you to specialize into content that you encounter in every map. We also want you to be able to specialize into your favorite leagues even more deeply on the Atlas tree. For each of the 10 leagues that the tree lets you disable, we've added a bunch more passives to the tree. These new passives allow you to increase the league's spawn chance to much higher levels than currently possible and juice the league even further than before. We're making a number of changes to Eldritch altars that mostly affect their rewards, but will also affect gameplay decisions you make involving them. Some of the key changes include splitting up the basic currency, Scarab, and Divination card rewards to be explicit in their description of what rewards you'll get. For example, instead of map bosses dropping 3 unknown basic currency items, the altar specifically says which currency item will drop. 100% física de esta falla. Change, we've removed some of the lower value yet quite common currency rewards from the pool, such as Orbs of Augmentation and Orbs of Transmutation. Speaking of Scarabs, these will be less available from altars, but we've improved their availability elsewhere to offset this. Rusted Scarabs can now drop from the core drop pool, and we've added a vendor recipe that allows you to upgrade your Scarabs up to Gilded, using the normal 3-to-1 ratio. You can also perform this action from your fragment tab using the new upgrade button. We have made reward types exclusive to different influences, so that you know which influence type to invest in if you want to target farm a certain reward. To give you a specific example, if you run maps influenced by, say, Eater of Worlds, you'll see Divine Orbs from the basic currency reward more than twice as often as before. We've also rebalanced rewards so that choices that affect boss drops or influence monster drops are comparatively more valuable.
O sea, la chance de esta Divine va a ser más grande en Eater of Worlds Influence.
It was so rewarding that players felt obligated to use it despite its extreme level of difficulty. It has retained the risk versus reward element, but with the overall intensity toned down. You can now also get Awakened Gems from defeating Maven Witness map bosses. This additional reward helps further balance the expected returns from the various types of influence. For more detail on these changes, check out the Balance Manifesto we posted last week, or the upcoming patch notes.
Se
In the
cambió
Lake
me.
of Calandra expansion, we introduced Atlas memories. When applied to your Atlas, they unlock a sequence of maps that tells the
Vuelve la
story of an
Atlas
NPC's past.
Pero nueva,
These
dice.
stories manifest
Okay.
as specialized encounters that involve a new challenge
Atlas
and
memories
exciting
también.
rewards.
También.
In this expansion, we've introduced 2 new Atlas memories, describing
nueva.
events related to beastry
Okay.
and domination. The beastry
Beastry?
memory line allows you to capture harvest monsters as beasts for your menagerie.
What
These
the?
harvest beasts can be used in 9 new beast crafting
Harvest
recipes.
Beast.
These recipes cover an array of options. For example, you can remove one of the special modifiers from a Watcher's Eye Jewel and then add another.
What
This
the
can have
fuck,
potent
Reroll what
results,
today?
but won't affect the life, mana, or energy shield modifiers.
Reroll what
You can
today?
re-roll an awakened gem from one type to another.
Reroll Awakened Gem. Te va a salir. Juan.
Another
100% tiene
example
más
is that
peso
you
la de
can also
Fire.
re-roll
Lo
a
digo
synthesis
ahora.
implicit modifier.
Poní la
If
gema
your
de esa
item
ahí,
is
te va
more
a
than
salir
one
la de Fire.
synthesis implicit, it will randomly
Te va a salir
re-roll
la
one
de
of
Fire.
them.
Siempre.
The Domination Atlas memory thrusts
Esta
you
weá va a
into
tener
a tale
waiting,
of
sí o
pantheon
sí te va a
gods
hacer
that
mil
stand
splash
watch
de
over their
Fire siempre.
shrines. Like regular shrines, these are
Tienen
guarded by
waiting.
monsters and emit a buff that empowers the monsters
No
until you
tries?
claim that buff for yourself.
Ok.
This Atlas memory introduces a new set of shrines with specialized buffs, guarded by rare monsters that drop tantalizing rewards. The
Nice.
Forbidden Sanctum
Me gusta.
expansion introduces a new type of shard that can drop from Harbingers. Fracturing
Lo voy a
shards.
dejar de Harbinger.
When combined together into a full currency item, you get the Fracturing Ore, which behaves the same as the Fracturing Craft from Harvest. It can
está?
be used on any rare item with at least 4 modifiers. When the orb is applied, it locks one of the modifiers in place so
Harbinger.
that further
Lo
crafting
había
efforts
puesto,
do
¿no?
not affect that modifier.
Lo de
Items
loco.
fractured in this way can only have one fractured
Harbi buff.
modifier. Previously,
Otro
this
shot.
crafting option was gated behind the
Madre.
Oshabi fight and Harvest.
La madre.
Now that it has been rehomed to
Salud, chat.
Harbinger, the Harvest crafting option is no longer available. This means that you'll be able to use your Harvest Life Force and Oshabi kills on
Fractura
other
un random
crafts.
modifier con 4
Because fracturing
modifiers.
shards drop from Harbingers, you'll be able to target
No,
farm them by
acuérdese
specking
también.
into Harbinger
Ah,
content
madre,
on your
mucho.
Atlas tree.
La
The
lucha.
Forbidden
No es
Sanctum
kill.
expansion
Ok.
introduces a
Salud.
number of new skill gems. In addition to some new melee Val skills we'll discuss later in the livestream, there are 2 totally new skills that we'd like to unveil today. Volcanic Fissure is a new fiery slam skill that can be used with staves, maces, axes, and unarmed attacks. Strike
eso?
the ground to create a chasm that winds towards your target. This chasm can path around corners before erupting as the fissure gets as close as
Melee?
it can reach. It releases a burst
Como
of
Molten
fiery
Strike, ¿no?
projectiles that explode on striking the ground. Enemies hit by multiple impacts will take a lot of stacked damage. Use it up close for reliable bursts of damage, or aim far away to damage a larger area. Frozen Legion is an unusual spell, summoning
Frozen
a ring
Legion.
of icy statues that attack with your own weapon damage.
What?
The skill has multiple cooldown stacks and
Kagebunji no
consumes all
Jutsu?
cooldown uses at once to summon a statue for each available cooldown. The statues perform a sweeping ice slash, and these sweeps can overlap, resulting in multiple
se ve
hits
horrible
against
esa
targets
skill, by
close
the
to
way.
you. The spell can be used
Se ve
with staves, maces, and
Vean,
axes.
se-
The skill is
se ve
particularly
horrible.
powerful with slow, heavy weapons, as while the statues will use your attack speed, you should instead
Se ve
prioritize the spell's
pésima,
own
man.
cast time and cooldown.
Kagebuchi no Yuzu kill.
This expansion also
salud.
introduces many new Val melee
Nueva
skills. As you know,
Salud, chat.
equipping a Val skill gem grants you both the Val and regular version of the skill. As you kill enemies, the gem charges up with their souls, and after a certain number are collected, the Val skill can be used once. Most of the new Val skills introduced in this expansion are melee skills, and this
Clear?
results in an indirect buff to any
Wait,
melee
that's a
builds
clear?
that use one of these skills. Where previously you'd just be using your melee skill to kill enemies, you now
No,
get to
wait.
periodically use a super-powered version of the skill.
What the fuck?
If you like Flicker Strike,
¿Es
you'll
eso?
love Val
¿Val
Flicker
Cleave?
Strike, as it really dials up the concept of letting fate take the wheel.
¿Era clip eso? ¿Quiere? ¿Sweep?
Val Flicker
No, ¿sweep?
Strike
¿Quiere
causes
eso?
you to flicker dozens of extra times,
Rip?
slashing
Rip,
enemies.
maybe.
During
Ah.
this time, you don't deal any
Flicker
damage
Strike.
to the enemies you slash. You're quite vulnerable due to not leeching or generating fortify stacks. When you finish flickering, if you survived of course, you'll be rewarded with a single huge hit of damage
Oh
against each
my
enemy
God.
you slashed. Val
Flicker
Cleave is a
login.
new Val skill that buffs the behavior of its non-Val version, in a similar way to how Val Reeve works. Val
Era
Cleave
Reeve,
triggers
era
2
Reeve.
buffs, one when you kill a rare enemy, and one when you kill either a rare or unique
Era
enemy.
Rip, no era clip.
The latter is a strong buff to regular cleave, which you can keep up almost permanently if you're able to kill rare or unique enemies often
O era
enough.
clip, no sé.
The bonus for killing a rare enemy is that you get to steal its
Damn.
mods for a time. You can enjoy part of
¿Robáis
the power
mods?
of having a headhunter without actually needing to find
Con
one.
esa kill no va mod.
Overall, Val Cleave is a pretty powerful upgrade to any melee build that could run
Val
cleave.
clip no va mod.
That +2 radius buff is looking pretty good now, right? Don't hurt me. We'll showcase the other new Val skills we're introducing over the
What?
coming week. The Forbidden Sanctum expansion introduces over 15 new unique items,
Wait,
from Sanctum exclusive uniques to ones that can be found from Path of Exile's pinnacle bosses. I'd like to show you 3 examples of these, designed by winners of our prior league's boss kill races. Progenesis is a unique amethyst flask that was designed by Ben and drops from the Uber Maven. It's a defensive flask that grants a mini version of the Petrified Blood effect, but without requiring you to be on low life. This is a useful tool to prevent you getting one-shot by large amounts of incoming damage in scary situations. Rational Doctrine is a unique jewel that was designed by Rawlings and drops from Uber Venarius. By manipulating your attributes, you can change how this jewel behaves. While the ideal dream outcome is that you manage to get your strength and intelligence tied for highest, enabling both of the benefits simultaneously, the jewel is still very powerful if it only grants your choice of permanent consecrated ground or permanent profane ground. Entropic Devastation is a pair of unique gloves that were designed by Gucci Pradas and dropped from the Uber Shaper. Currently, the ways to get Spell Impale are very limited. These gloves provide the powerful property of causing all of your spells to impale. So let's talk about unique weapons. Specifically, endgame unique weapons.
Let's go!
In many ways, the weapon is the most iconic and important item on a character, so it's very important that we make them exciting and worthy of their unique status. While some unique weapons have special properties that enable entirely new builds, others are best compared to powerful rare items as a primary source of your character's damage. We have to be very careful when pitching the power level of these unique weapons. If they're not powerful enough, then they're useless and are ignored. But if they're too powerful, then they discourage entire archetypes of characters from trying to find or craft rare weapons. Interestingly, the above problem doesn't apply to belts. Despite Mageblood and Headhunter both existing as extremely powerful unique items, people still craft plenty of rare belts. That's because Mageblood and Headhunter are extremely rare, and people don't actually expect to reliably get one in a league. Players tend to treat them as luxury upgrades to their build, rather than something they're certain to get. In this expansion, we're promoting 10 iconic but underused unique weapons to the same tier of rarity as Mageblood and Headhunter. We are buffing them a gigantic amount, and are making them incredibly hard to find. Remember when Starforge used to be an exciting item? Well, after this change, it certainly is again. It still drops exclusively from the Shaper and the Uber Shaper, but it'll take a lot of runs or a lot of luck to earn it. Over the next week, we'll reveal the other unique weapons that have been massively buffed. We have targeted around 10 iconic underused unique weapons and have generally buffed only their damage stat, but by a lot.
Back to the menu, boys!
We've made a number of changes to jewels that are covered in a recent balance manifesto, but in case you missed it, we want to quickly summarize what the changes are. In the Forbidden Sanctum expansion, we have made jewels a better source of ailment mitigation by buffing the values of ailment-focused jewel modifiers and adding new modifiers that enable mitigation to a wider variety of ailments than before. We have also removed some ailment mitigation modifiers that were only available on jewels through corruption, because there are now better options through the regular jewel mod pool. This also means that other desirable corruption modifiers, like immunity to corrupting blood, are more likely to roll. We want the moment of finding a unique jewel to be way more exciting than it currently is. We've added a handful of new, very powerful unique jewels and have removed some old, less interesting ones. An example of one of these new unique jewels is Fire Song, which propagates any modifiers to your ignite mitigation to other elemental ailments. If you're able to substantially reduce the duration of ignites on you, then you can use Fire Song to basically shrug off any elemental ailment. For full information about the other changes to unique jewels, check out the Balance Manifesto post we made recently.
Eso está OP. Bro, esa gema está OP, what the fuck?
To make them stronger where they matter most against unique monsters and pinnacle bosses. We have buffed several Hex-related unique items and reworked unique items that previously interacted with Doom. To replace the Doomsday Keystone passive, we have brought back a version of an iconic Curse-related Keystone from the past. We've introduced some powerful new unique items that interact with Hexes, which we'll reveal in the lead-up to launch.
Curse limit igual a tus power charges. Depende de la rareza, puede ser bien caro.
We posted recently, or the patch notes that will come out after the livestream concludes. When we first created the Arch-Nemesis monster mod system, our goal was to improve Path of Exile's outdated set of monster mods with new and interesting mechanics that have modern game balance. We feel that Arch-Nemesis did introduce a lot of interesting mechanics, but it unfortunately had several of its own problems. We have replaced Arch-Nemesis with a system that is more similar to the way monster mods worked in the past.
Mira, te dice arriba lo que hacen de una. Enduro Chariway Hit, Lightning Attack Resistance. Mucho mejor.
Each encounter with a rare monster is now less complex and is easier to understand in the heat of combat compared to Arch-Nemesis.
Gracias,
You'll still encounter
gracias,
challenging
gracias,
combinations of mods from time to time.
Gracias, gracias.
Will be rarer than it was in
Proximity
Garage
Shield, esta
Nemesis.
proyectiles.
The goal is that combat is
Miraje.
interesting and varied, with moments
Mucho
to
más
get your
claro,
heart
man.
racing, but
Gracias.
without the frustrations of the Arch Nemesis system. Let's talk about rewards. Under Arch Nemesis, it often felt
recompensa.
mandatory to bring in a magic find culling character to kill some monsters for you in order to maximize your rewards.
Era una mierda.
In the new system, we've
Buscar
added a
cool era una
significant
mierda.
pool of new rewards to rares, but the reward that is on the monster is hidden and not associated with a specific mod, so you don't know what kind of rewards you will get until you
Van a
kill the
esconder los
monster.
rewards.
Rare monsters with more mods are more likely to have these special hidden reward bonuses. To find out more about other balance changes that are taking place in the Forbidden Sanctum,
O sea,
check
está
out the
igual,
patch
pero lo
notes which will be
escondieron.
available when the
Me
live stream
suena así,
ends.
¿no?
Over the
Me suena
last year
eso.
or so, some of our senior developers have been
Roadless,
tinkering with
okay.
a more challenging way to play Path of Exile.
Roadless,
We've
marcamos,
been publicly
márquenlo,
alpha testing this
márquenlo de
mode,
bingo,
known as
Roadless.
Ruthless, for the last month,
Otro shot.
and are planning to make it
Márquenlo.
available to anyone who's interested alongside the launch of the Forbidden
Hello.
Sanctum next week. Ruthless is an optional additional character flag, like Hardcore
¿Qué
or
le
Solar
pasa a Chris? Un
Self-Found,
guiño
that
cada 10
completely
segundos.
changes how Path of
¿Y tú
Exile
tuvieras
feels
su
to play.
trabajo?
Ruthless is a lot more difficult
No
than
tendría solo
regular
un
Path
guiño,
of
déjame
Exile,
decirte eso.
but it doesn't achieve this by making the monsters harder to kill. It instead focuses on
Salute.
reducing character power through extreme item scarcity, limited crafting, and many other changes such as support gems being drop only. We've posted an article about the philosophy and rules of Ruthless on pathofexile.com/ruthless. We plan to release this mode alongside the Forbidden Sanctum expansion in a week. In addition to being a character flag like Hardcore or
Ruthless
Solar
es un
Self-Found,
modo
it's also available as a
ultra
modifier
difícil
for private
donde
leagues.
hay
To be clear, the Forbidden Sanctum League
nada.
content can be played in
No
Ruthless with
caen,
appropriately
o sea,
balanced
no
rewards.
te venden support gems.
Ruthless is still very
No te cae
experimental
ni
during
mierda.
320, and we won't
No
be
hay mesa
afraid to
de
make midweek
crafteo.
balance changes to it during this
No hay
experimental
ese
phase.
onda, es
Ruthless
súper-
is not for everyone, but so far it has found a
súper,
supportive and growing group of players who enjoy
pocas
the
cosas.
additional challenge that it brings.
Es un modo para
If
enfermo.
it sounds like something you're interested in, then try it out next time you're looking for a new way to enjoy Path of Exile. This expansion also contains a number of
Quality of
small
life?
quality of life improvements. Some examples
What?
are Divine Vessels can now be used by right-clicking them rather than taking them to Sin.
Oh my god, gracias.
On the player overhead life bar, the energy shield bar is split into a separate bar. You can now right-click an
Gracias.
itemized Temple of Atsuatl to see its layout. And most
Gracias.
importantly, beast crafting recipes that add mods to flasks now actually say what the mods do.
Sí.
We'll post more information about these
Está
and
bien.
other quality of life improvements in the lead up to release.
Gracias, Chris. Gracias, Chris. Thank you.
Today we're launching two new series of supporter packs, the Forge and Gemling packs.
Supporter
Each
packs,
tier
okay.
contains the pack's full face value and points, plus several exclusive microtransactions. These packs
No
will
me dan
only be
permiso para
available
comprar
for the
esto,
duration
así
of the
que,
Sanctum Challenge
whatever.
League and will leave the store forever in 3 months. As always, these microtransactions are entirely cosmetic and do not affect your character's progression or power.
Pero veamos
The
cómo son.
Forge series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive
Oh my God.
microtransactions. The Clockwork back attachment ramps up as you build a kill streak, building pressure and releasing it when your streak ends.
La mochila se calienta. Después se ve por. Oh my god, menos 20
The Delirious
FPS.
hideout decoration lets you summon delirium fog in your hideout at will, complete with strange voices and terrifying
Menos 50
apparitions.
FPS. Liberáis delirium en tu hideout. Menos 50 FPS. ¿Quién haría esto a propósito? Holy shit, man. Me acordé de una mina que. What the fuck? ¿Por
The
qué?
Forge Guard armor set summons a hammer and anvil so that
Oh my
everyone
God, está
nearby
bonito
can
ese.
watch you craft.
Oh my god, que. Oh my god. Oh. Bro.
The ethereal fusing
Qué
effect
nice.
turns your item linking attempts into a spectator sport. If you
Look,
manage to hit a
qué
6 link,
bacán.
people watching are even prompted to send a congratulatory message.
Bro. Pa' flexear god,
Summoning
bro.
the Crow Storm portal effect causes a murder of crows to erupt from the portal. The portal becomes dormant if you are too far away from it, causing the crows to take to the skies.
No sé. Portales en.
The High Templar
mucho.
weapon effect
No,
smites the undead you fight and scours the souls of those you put to rest. The Gemling Pack series also has 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Beehive weapon
Bro,
effect
wait.
lets your weapon play host to a
¿Vieron
swarm of
eso?
angry bees,
¿Alcanzaron a ver
which
eso?
erupt from the hive whenever you hit an enemy with the weapon. Critical hits
Wait,
cause the hive to
¿masa de
send out its
abejas?
best
Wait, ¿ese era
warriors.
Cadiro?
The Stampede Quicksilver Flask makes you the leader of your own personal rower herd.
Oh my God,
Activating
qué
the
asco.
flask causes a host of
Activar el
ghostly
frasco y
rowers to
sale
charge
mouse.
alongside
No.
you.
No, what? ¿Por qué
This
haría
is the
eso?
Gemling Artificer armor set. It is inlaid with gems that match the gems you
Man,
socketed in
eso
your
ni
items.
se ve, weón. Seamos
Crafting
sinceros,
gems with
esa
gem
weá no
cutters
se ve en
prisms,
game.
Val orbs, or regrading
Unos puntitos
lenses
de color en la
visualizes the
pechera.
process for all to
No voy a
see.
ver eso, weón.
This armor set also
No se ve.
includes ultimate gem level up effects.
Seamos sinceros, weón.
Prospero's
peor,
ring blesses you with a constant shower of coins, and it helps you
Bueno,
thank players
¿eso
you've
tú
traded
crees que
with
se va a
for a
ver?
hearty fist bump.
¡Oh my god!
The
Eso está
consuming
bueno.
ooze pet bounces alongside
Okay.
you and devours corpses in your wake,
¿Un
spitting out a
slime?
tidy pile of bones. Finally, this pack allows you to reunite with Kadiro Perandus, inviting
Kadiro.
him to your hideout as a vendor. In addition to buying items from you
Nah,
and using his
pay to
connections
win.
to
Puedes
accept your
tener Kadiro
divination
en las-
cards, he'll provide commentary on your goods, equipment, and anything else he sees fit to judge you for.
That might be a little too much to drink, even for me.
Kadiro has hundreds of lines of voice acting.
What? Oh, a mighty headhunter. I'm so impressed.
Nah, que...
Try
No,
to
man.
duck when the
Un
brain
día esta weá y lo
fragments
muteo.
splatter everywhere.
Un día este
You
weón-
wouldn't
de este
want to
weón hablando mierda y lo
sully your
muteo.
armor.
Bueno, imagínate estar a las
These
3 de la
new
mañana
packs are
farmeando,
available right
weón,
now at
piola, weón,
pathofexile.com
escuchando música,
/purchase.
toca esa weá y...
Purchases like these
Man,
directly
teníamos
fund
que
the
estar,
ongoing
enfermo
development of
culiao.
Path of
Y-
Exile
No,
1 and 2,
man,
and we
muteado,
really
al
appreciate your
toque.
support. Meanwhile, the Knight and Rogue packs leave the store forever in 1 week, so now's your last chance to purchase them. The Calandra edition of Kyric's
última
Vault Pass is
advertencia,
only
weón, para
available
gastar
until the end of the
plata en
Calandra
anteriores
League,
packs,
and will be
weón.
replaced with a new set of unique items when the Forbidden Sanctum launches.
Hicieron...
By the way, we're hoping to film
story.
Season 11 of Build of the Week once the Forbidden Sanctum comes out. If you want to submit your build for the season, share your build guide on the class forums on pathofexile.com. Next up, we've got the Q&A with Ziggy D. Once that ends, we'll post the full patch notes for the Forbidden Sanctum.
Clap, chat,
Over the
clap.
next week, our community team will post
Gracias,
the
Chris.
expansions
Ahora
challenge
viene entrevista con
rewards,
CDD.
information on how to update your item filters, all new and changed gems, and information on
Viene
how to
entrevista
prepare
con
for
CDD.
launch. On launch weekend, we expect to release the new mystery box, and we'll follow up with the new
Estoy
Kyric's Vault Pass
sorprendido.
in the days after launch.
Estoy hypeado, me gustó lo que vi.
Thanks for joining us and checking
Esperemos
out the
que más
Forbidden
nos da la
Sanctum. We
información.
can't wait to join you in Rayclast on
Por
December
ahora
9th.
estoy muy
We'll begin the
hypeado.
Q&A shortly, so please get
Yo
your
creo que va a ser
questions ready
esta
in
sección a
chat.
YouTube, esta reacción en vivo de el anuncio. Así que ya, todo bueno. Ahora voy a cortar la reacción acá y después para después subir a YouTube la reacción en vivo. ¿Te están viendo de YouTube? Muchas gracias por ver el video. Denle like, comenten y toda la weá, que la weá es gratis. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Bye.